Have you ever tried to get a photorealistic image out of an AI, and what you get back just looks off? You know, a little too perfect, kind of plasticky and fake? Well, today we're going to dive into exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it. We're about to unlock the secret language that turns that standard AI art into something that looks unbelievably real. So on the left, you see exactly what I'm talking about, that classic AI look. It's waxy, it's way too smooth, and there's just something uncanny about it. But on the right, that's what we're after. That's photorealism. You can see the texture, you can see tiny flaws, and the light just feels real. Making that leap from the image on the left to the one on the right is the whole game. And in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to win it. So why do AI models automatically lean into this artificial look? It's not some random mistake. It's actually a core part of how they're designed to work. Let's break down what's really going on under the hood. Okay, this right here is the heart of the issue. It's a concept called the averaged aesthetic. Just think about it. An AI model has seen millions and millions of photos. So when you give it a simple prompt, its safest bet is to just blend all of that data together into a perfectly average generic image. And what does that mean? It means you get super smooth skin, perfectly even lighting, and flawless symmetry. All the things that, real life just doesn't have. And that averaged approach is exactly where all those frustrations we've all felt come from. You get that plastic skin with zero pores. You get lighting that looks like it's from a bad video game. The depth of field is just impossible for a real camera. It all adds up to this kind of 3D render vibe that makes the images totally unusable if you need something that looks genuinely authentic. Now, to really understand how to beat this, we've got to take a quick look at how we even got here, because the technology has been evolving at a truly insane speed. I mean, just a couple of years ago, we were stuck deep in the uncanny valley. You remember, right? The six-fingered hands, the weird, soulless eyes. Then models got way better at understanding our words, and users figured out a little hack. Just mentioning a camera brand suddenly made things look more real. And now, the latest models literally understand the physics of light, which is incredible, but it also means they need us to speak a much, much more technical language. And that brings us to the real secret. It isn't about finding one little magic prompt word. No. To get a real-looking photo, you have to start speaking an entirely different language to the AI. You have to speak the language of photography itself. This quote from a lead engineer at an AI lab just nails it. You have to stop prompting just the subject of the photo and start prompting the camera. You have to describe how the light is actually behaving, what kind of lens it's passing through, all of it. You're basically becoming the director of photography for a virtual photo shoot. Okay, I know that sounds super complicated, but it can actually be broken down into a really clear, simple formula. Let's get practical and look at the blueprint for building that perfect photo from the ground up. And here it is, the 5 parts to a photorealistic prompt. You've got your subject, of course, then the environment. Third, and this one's huge, is the lighting. But the real secret sauce, the absolute game changers, are the next 2. Number 4, the camera, and I mean the specific model, lens, and settings. And number 5, the film stock, which tells the AI exactly what kind of grain and color profile you want. Following this structure forces the AI to abandon that generic, averaged look. And here's what that looks like in action. Instead of just an old man, you say an elderly man with weathered skin. Instead of a room, it's a dimly lit, dusty workshop. But then look at the technical details. Volumetric light, a Sony A7R IV camera with a specific 85mm lens at f1.8, and even the classic Kodak Portra 400 film stock. Every single one of those terms is a precise instruction that stops the AI from just guessing and defaulting to something boring. All right, let's put this formula to the test and apply it to a couple of really common situations. So first up, portraits. This is the big one, right? The biggest challenge is getting rid of that fake, doll-like plastic skin. So how do you do it? You use the right language. Subsurface scattering. That's a term from the world of 3D graphics that describes how light actually penetrates the top layer of skin. It's what makes us look, well, human. You have to explicitly ask for things like visible pores and natural eye reflections. You use the exact lens that gives you that gorgeous blurry background, an 85mm at f1.8. And, super important, you have to avoid generic words like perfect or beautiful, because they just push the AI right back to that fake averaged look. Okay, so what about things that aren't human? What about hard surfaces like cars or products that need to look like they're in a high-end studio? The goal here is to make it look like a real commercial photo shoot, not a cheap video game render. And again, it all comes down to that specific technical language. For those sharp, clean reflections on metal or glass, you use the term specular highlights. You can define your lighting setup with studio strobe parameters. If you want that powerful, dynamic look you see in car ads, you specify a wide-angle lens. And if you want an image that feels like it came straight out of the camera before any editing, you just add the term raw format.
So, we've basically figured out how to create technically perfect photographs on demand. But here's the twist. Right when we've mastered perfection, the most advanced users are starting to run in the complete opposite direction. I mean, just look at this data. In the first quarter of this year alone, there's been a 400% jump in prompts that use words like raw or uncinematic. After spending all this time chasing absolute perfection, people are now actively trying to be imperfect. And this list shows you the new frontier. People are deliberately adding things like disposable camera, motion blur, and harsh flash into their prompts. It's all about trying to capture that authentic, nostalgic feeling of an old Polaroid or a quick, candid snapshot. It seems that now that perfection is easy, the real art is in creating flaws that feel genuine and human. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? Now that we have machines that can generate flawless, perfect images in seconds, why are we teaching them how to be imperfect? It seems like the search for ultimate realism has somehow led us right back to the search for our own humanity.